My name is Emily. One afternoon, I asked my father for a simple favor, and he laughed and told me he wasn't my babysitter. What he didn't know was that I had been quietly paying his mortgage for months. If your family ever crossed a line with money, tell your story in the comments. The message went out while standing near the daycare entrance, phone balanced against one hand, backpack slipping off the other shoulder. "Dad, can you pick her up today? My shift just got moved. Just today." The reply came as a call, not a text. Robert didn't wait for a greeting. "We're not your babysitters," he said, then laughed. Not a pause, not a check-in, just a laugh, sharp and familiar, like a rule he'd quoted many times before. The words landed fast enough to skip any space for negotiation. "I just need help this once," I said. Robert kept going, voice loose, half amused. "You never know how to organize your life. You chose to be a single mom. That's on you." There was no argument in his tone, only certainty, like the discussion had already ended somewhere else. "I have things to do," he added, "real things." The line went dead before another word could fit. The phone stayed in my hand while the parking lot traffic moved around us. No one nearby noticed. A car alarm chirped. Someone honked farther down the lane. Normal weekday noise kept its pace. The daycare app opened next. Emergency pickup options. Paid services. One tap, then another. "Fully booked today." The second number answered with the same response. Polite, fast, no flexibility. The third call went to voicemail. There wasn't time to wait for callbacks. A decision got made the way most of them did. Quick, imperfect, final. My daughter's coat got zipped back up. A different route appeared on the map, a longer one. The engine started, the car pulled out. Traffic thickened faster than planned. At the first stoplight, a text came through from my mother. "Your dad didn't mean it like that. You know how he jokes." No reply went back. A detour off the main road added 10 minutes. A missed turn added 5 more. The daycare's closing reminder chimed while we were already moving. The navigation app recalculated again. "Arrival delayed by 12 minutes, the voice announced, flat and cheerful. That was when the laugh replayed in my head. Not loud, not angry, just certain. The app didn't care why we were late. It didn't ask who said no or who laughed. It just updated the estimate and kept going. The drop-off happened without commentary. A quick handoff, a tight schedule exchanged for another one. No one asked questions. No one needed explanations. Work came next, not gracefully, but on time enough to count. The parking garage swallowed the car. A badge scanned. The day moved forward. Before heading in, the phone came back out. A habit built from years of checking before problems turned expensive. The banking app loaded the way it always did. Logo, spinner, progress bar. Same screen, same colors. The shift picked up without waiting. Screens filled with route updates, names slid between columns, and the morning delay from Tucson pushed everything else back by half an hour. A truck missed its slot. A driver called in sick. 2 replacements got reassigned. Nothing unusual. This was the job. Schedules move faster than conversations ever did. While a request loaded on the internal system, the banking app opened again. Not out of panic, out of habit. Bills, balances, the usual sweep before the day ran away. The transaction list didn't stop at one line. Mortgage payment, same amount, same date pattern. Then another, and another. Scrolling revealed the rhythm. Once a month. No gaps. Almost a year's worth. No memo, no note, no message asking for help. Just clean withdrawals, each one approved and completed. A forklift alarm sounded somewhere behind the wall. Someone laughed near the loading bay. Work kept moving while the list kept going. The cursor hovered over one entry, then another. The name attached to the loan wasn't mine. The account paying it was. A message preview slid down from the top of the screen. "Mom, don't make this a big deal. Your dad was joking. You know he loves her." The phone stayed face down for a moment. Then another buzz. An aunt this time, straight to voicemail. The transcript filled itself in. You know how your parents are. Being a daughter means understanding. Understanding hadn't shown up on any of the statements. A driver walked over, paperwork in hand. The manifest needed a quick approval. That happened. A signature box filled. The page moved on. Marcus Reed leaned against the desk nearby, watching a monitor refresh. "You're behind today," he said, not accusing, just stating a fact. 10 minutes, came the answer. "That's still behind." Another update came through on his screen. He tapped once, then stepped back. "If the system auto-drafts," Marcus added, "it's doing what it's told. Doesn't get sentimental about it." No advice followed. No pause to check how that landed. He walked off to handle the next issue. The list on the phone stayed open. A notification appeared from the bank, cheerful and precise. "Thank you for maintaining your scheduled payments." No greeting, no explanation, just appreciation. The email address listed only my name. A radio crackled. Someone called for clearance on Dock 3. A pen moved. A box got checked. Mom called next. The line connected on the second ring. "You saw the charges, didn't you?" she asked. "Yes." "He didn't want to worry you." I wasn't asked. "That's not the point," she said. "He's your father." "And that makes it automatic?" A pause, then a softer tone. "He's under stress. Things are expensive right now." "They've been expensive for months." "You don't need to sound like that." Sounding like anything hadn't caused the charges. "I have to go," I said. The call ended without argument, which felt more final than a fight would have. Another alert popped up, this one from operations. A late shipment had cleared the checkpoint. The board updated. The day moved forward. During a brief lull, the transaction history got screenshotted. One page, then another. Dates visible, amounts lined up. Each image saved to a new folder without a name. A coworker passed by and nodded. Someone asked if coverage could be swapped later. That was handled too. The aunt called back. This time the call got answered. "You don't want this getting weird," she said. "Families don't keep score." "Someone did," I replied. "Your dad would do the same for you." The sentence hung there, unsupported. "I need to get back to work." "Well, think about it." The line disconnected. No goodbye. An automated reminder chimed from the banking app. Upcoming scheduled payment in 3 days. The option to snooze it appeared beneath the message. The reminder got deleted instead. Marcus returned with a clipboard, glancing over briefly. "Everything still running?" he asked. "Yes." "Good," he said, "because nothing else is going to stop just because someone feels bad." He checked a box and moved on. Lunch came and went without much ceremony. Emails stacked. A driver brought a complaint that went nowhere. A supervisor asked for a quick status update and got one. Mid-afternoon, another message from Mom arrived. "He didn't mean what he said earlier." No response followed. The banking app refreshed itself in the background. A small banner slid across the top of the screen. "Your account is in good standing." That line stayed visible longer than necessary. Break time came and went without ceremony. A sandwich sat untouched while the number for the mortgage servicer got dialed from the contact list. Hold music started, then stopped. A recorded voice asked for a few digits. Those went in. Another pause. A woman picked up, voice practiced and neutral. "Thank you for calling. How can I help you today?" "I need to confirm the ownership on a loan," I said. "Just the name." She asked for an address, then the last 4 digits of a Social Security number. The line stayed open while keys clicked on her end. "The property is solely in Robert Carter's name," she said. "You're listed as the payer, not an owner." "So I'm not on the deed?" "No, ma'am." "And I'm not a co-borrower?" "That's correct." The answer arrived without wait. No judgment attached, just a fact delivered and released. "Is there anything else I can help you with?" she asked. That's it. The call ended cleanly. A fork scraped against plastic. Lunch resumed. The rest of the room carried on like nothing had shifted. The phone vibrated again before the first bite landed. Robert's name filled the screen. The call got answered. "So you called the bank," he said. No greeting this time. "Yes." His tone had changed. The laugh was gone, replaced by something tighter. "You didn't have to do that," he continued. "Running around asking questions like that makes it look like you're keeping score." "I asked whose name was on the loan." "That's family business." "Then why wasn't I told?" "Because it didn't matter," he snapped. "Money moves. That's how it works." "For almost a year?" "You're exaggerating." "The statements don't." A pause followed, then a familiar line returned, sharper this time. "Family doesn't keep ledgers." One sentence came back, calm and short. "Then why is my name the only one on the payment history?" Silence stretched long enough to notice the printer across the room kick back on. "You're turning this into something ugly," Robert said. "All this over money. Over responsibility. That's the same thing." "No." His voice rose. "You think because you make decent money you get to judge how things are handled? I think names matter. Not in families. They do at banks." Another pause, this one heavier. "You're being difficult," he said. "I'm asking questions. You didn't need to ask them like this." "Like what?" "Like you don't trust us." The call ended without warning. Marcus stood a few feet away holding a clipboard. He hadn't been trying to listen. The walls made that unnecessary. "Sounded productive," he said. "It clarified things." He nodded once. "Paper usually does," Marcus replied. "Name on the document takes the hit. Person sending money just keeps the engine running until it doesn't." No comfort followed. No advice slipped in afterward. He marked something off and headed back to his station. An email arrived minutes later. Subject, call confirmation. The body was short. "Thank you for speaking with us today. Your inquiry has been addressed." A link followed. "How satisfied are you with this interaction?" Below that, smaller text read, "Issue resolved." The message sat there, confident. Another notification appeared right after. A family group chat had lit up. "Mom, why did you call the bank?" An aunt followed. "You didn't have to embarrass your father." A cousin added a single line. "Everything okay?" No replies went out. The banking app opened again. The familiar list appeared. Same dates, same amounts. The mortgage line showed the next draft scheduled, highlighted in pale blue. The section for automatic payments sat just beneath it. A thumb hovered. The screen didn't change. Work pushed back in. A delayed truck arrived early. A driver complained about paperwork. A supervisor asked for a quick update and got one. By the time the shift wound down, the app was still open, waiting where it had been left. Marcus passed by again, heading out. "End of the day," he said. "Almost." "Systems don't like indecision," he added, not looking back. The phone stayed unlocked. The option to edit automatic drafts blinked once, then settled. Nothing got pressed. Not yet. The change took less than a minute. The banking app asked for confirmation once, then again. A code arrived by text, 6 digits, neutral and impatient. Those went in. A final screen appeared. "Your changes have been applied." No warning followed, no lecture about consequences. The screen returned to the account overview like nothing important had happened. Work filled the rest of the afternoon. A delayed trailer needed rerouting. A scanner went down on Dock 7. A replacement crew showed up late and had to be split. Hands moved, names shifted. Problems stayed small enough to solve. 3 days passed before the phone started ringing. Robert called during a lunch rush. The first call went unanswered. The second came through while approving overtime. "Why didn't the money go through?" he demanded. "That payment isn't scheduled anymore," I said. "What do you mean it isn't scheduled?" His voice snapped. "It always goes through." "It doesn't now." "You didn't ask." "You didn't either." A breath cut sharply through the line. "This isn't funny," he said. "The bank is expecting it." "They can expect it from the account on the loan." "You're being difficult on purpose." "The system accepted the change." He hung up. The third call came that evening, closer to midnight. This time the volume dropped. "They sent a letter," Robert said. "A warning. Just a notice, but still." What did it say? That the payment's late. And that they need to hear from me. The sentence ended without confidence. Mom called the next morning. You didn't have to go this far, she said. Just send it for now and we'll sort it out. For how long? This month, she replied, at least. That's what last month was supposed to be, and you're putting everyone in a bad spot. I removed myself from it. A pause followed, not long enough to soften anything. You know your father, she said. He doesn't handle pressure well. He handles it by letting someone else pay. That's not fair. The call ended with no agreement. A message came in from a cousin shortly after. No one does this to their own dad. No punctuation, no follow-up. By mid-morning, the bank sent its own update. No transactions require your attention today. The timing landed cleanly. Another alert arrived beneath it, offering budgeting tips. That got dismissed. Robert called again that afternoon. The edge was gone now, replaced by something thinner. They're talking about next steps, he said. This could turn into something serious. What kind of steps? They didn't say yet. They will. So you're really doing this. I stopped doing something I wasn't responsible for. His tone shifted again, sharper than before. If I lose the house, that's on you. The loan isn't. You know what I mean. I know what the paperwork says. That house has been in the family for years. So has this conversation. Silence followed. Not a hang-up, just air moving through the line. You don't have to be like this, he said finally. I'm not changing anything. Another pause. Then the click. Back at work, a jammed conveyor triggered an alarm. Someone waved for help. The headset went on. Instructions followed. A delay got contained before it spread. Marcus passed by while the issue cleared. Everything still stable, he asked? Yes. Good, he said, because once a system resets, it doesn't go back unless someone forces it. No advice, just a statement. The phone buzzed again near the end of the shift. Another call from Robert. That one went to voicemail. His message played back later. They're talking about foreclosure. I need you to understand how serious this is. The next notification came from the bank almost immediately after. Reminder, you are not associated with any upcoming payments. No emotion attached, just confirmation. Mom texted again. Please don't let this go too far. Nothing went back. The cousin followed with another message. You're tearing the family apart. The phone got set down. A report still needed filing. Numbers had to match before the system would close out the day. Robert called once more, later than before. They said if I don't catch up, things move fast, he said. The anger was gone now. You could fix this. The account isn't mine. But you were paying it. That didn't make it mine. So you're just going to watch? I'm going to keep doing my job. You always were like this, he said. Cold. I'm consistent. That's not the same thing. It is to banks. The silence returned. Longer this time. Heavy enough to notice. Don't hang up, he said. The email arrived mid-morning, buried between shift reports and a maintenance alert. Subject line, Notice of Delinquency. It wasn't addressed to me, not officially. My parents' home address sat at the top. My name appeared further down, listed as a prior payer, copied automatically. No warning, no apology, just distribution. The message was brief and exact. The loan was past due. Contact was required within a limited window to avoid further action. No tone, no blame, just a deadline. Another task pulled focus before the screen could be locked. A driver missed a scan. A pallet landed in the wrong bay. Radios crackled, the floor adjusted. By the time things slowed, the phone was vibrating again. Robert didn't bother with an opening. Can you transfer something, he asked, just enough to get through this month? Nothing came back right away. That's all I'm asking, he continued. We'll figure out the rest later. What's the plan, I said. A pause followed, short but telling. What do you mean? I mean beyond the payment, I replied. What changes after this month? Another pause. Longer. We just need time. Time to do what? Why are you interrogating me, he snapped. This is your parents' house. And the loan? You know how things are right now. That's not an answer. His breath came through the line, heavy. You're really doing this, he said. You're choosing money over family. I'm choosing clarity. You didn't have a problem before. That wasn't true. You paid. You helped. It wasn't help if it wasn't optional. That landed harder than expected. The line went silent for a beat. You're acting like this was forced on you. It became expected, I said. That's different. The call ended without resolution. Messages followed within the hour. An aunt wrote first. After everything your father's done, this is how you repay him? A cousin followed. People are talking. A second cousin added a thumbs down emoji, then deleted it. The notification stayed anyway. Mom called next. Why are you pushing this so far, she asked. He's scared. Then he needs a plan. You're being rigid. I'm being accurate. He raised you, and he took the payments. That's unfair. So was not asking. Silence crept in. Not soft, just unresolved. You could end this, she said. So could he. The call dropped. Lunch sat untouched again. A meeting came and went. Approvals moved through the system without friction. Another email arrived from the bank, automated and courteous. We're available to discuss restructuring options. The phrasing was calm, helpful even. No one in my family had used that tone yet. Robert called again near the end of the shift. I talked to someone, he said. They said things escalate fast. What did they suggest? That I catch up. And after that? We'll see. You said that last time. His voice rose. You don't get how much pressure this is. I do, I said. I've been carrying it. You volunteered. I stepped in. That's not the same. Another silence stretched between us. You're punishing me, he said. I stopped covering for you. That house means something. So does my account. You sound cold. I sound done. A supervisor waved from across the floor. A system alert flashed. Another issue needed attention. Robert, I said, do you have anything besides asking me to send money? He didn't answer right away. No, he said finally. That was the clearest thing he'd said all day. Family messages picked up speed after that. Some accused, some pleaded. Others stopped responding altogether. The silence from that group said more than the words ever had. No one mentioned the year of payments. No one brought up the lack of notice. No one acknowledged how the situation reached this point. The bank sent another update before clockout. Please respond within 5 business days. Polite, neutral, specific. Robert called one last time that night. I need you to help, he said, just this once. The answer came without hesitation. I'm not transferring money anymore. He started talking again, faster this time, words stacking over each other. The call from the mortgage office came during a gap between tasks. No warning tone, no urgency in the voice. Ms. Carter, we're following up on the delinquent account, the representative said. There's prior history you should be aware of. What kind of history? A pause. Papers moved. Your father was offered refinancing options last year, multiple times. And? He declined. Why? He didn't want to submit updated income documentation. The answer arrived clean and complete. No hedge, no apology. So this isn't new, I said. No, ma'am, it's a continuation. That word stuck. Continuation. He chose not to restructure, she added. That limited available options. The call ended with a reminder about timelines. Standard language. Predictable. The phone hadn't even gone back to the desk before it rang again. Robert didn't bother hiding the anger. You did this, he said. You knew exactly what you were doing. I found out what happened. You cut me off, and now they're closing in. They were already there. You went behind my back. You were already declining help." His voice sharpened. "I had reasons. Then they should have been written down. You're trying to make me look bad. I'm not saying anything." "You will," he snapped. "I'll make sure people hear the truth." "What truth?" "That you abandoned your family." The call ended before an answer could follow. It didn't take long. An uncle called first, voice lowered like that mattered. "Your dad's telling people you pulled the plug without warning." "I stopped paying." "That's the same thing to them." "It isn't." "He says you're punishing him." "I stepped out." "That's cold." "Paperwork isn't." Another call came in before the line could clear, a cousin this time. "Why didn't you just talk to him?" she asked. "He says this blindsided him." "I asked questions." "He said you accused him." "I asked for a plan." A sigh followed. "You know how he is." "That's why this happened." The call ended without agreement. The transaction screenshots came back up. Dates, amounts, the full stretch of transfers, month after month. No commentary attached, no captions added. 2 emails went out, one to Mom, one to an aunt who usually stayed neutral. No explanation, no message body, just files. The send confirmation flashed, then disappeared. For hours after that, nothing happened. No calls, no texts. The family group chat stayed untouched. The silence felt procedural, like everyone had decided to wait for someone else to speak first. Work kept moving. A delivery missed its window. Another made up time. A supervisor asked whether overtime was possible next week. The answer went in without discussion. Late afternoon brought a message from the bank. Due to the current status, additional documentation will be required. Another line followed. Temporary arrangements are no longer applicable. That phrasing landed differently now. Robert called again as the shift wound down. "They're asking for everything," he said. "Statements, proof, stuff they didn't need before." "They asked before. You know I don't keep that kind of thing." "They told you to. They didn't make it sound like this." "They always do." "You could still help," he said, "just long enough to get them off my back." "That won't change the file." "You don't know that." "I do now." A beat passed. "You sent them something," he said. "No." "You sent people something." "I sent records." "You made me look irresponsible." "You declined refinancing." "That was my choice, and this is mine." His voice rose, then dropped. "This is going to ruin everything. The structure already failed. You're enjoying this. I'm letting it run." Silence returned, thicker this time. "They're scheduling someone to come out," he said finally. "Who?" "An appraiser or an inspector, I don't know." "They told you?" "They said they need to assess the property." The call ended there. Another message came through from the bank moments later, addressed to him, copied to me by default. "Property evaluation scheduled." A date, a window, no explanation attached. The calendar invite loaded automatically. There was an option to decline. Nothing got touched. Marcus walked past as the phone went back into a pocket. "Everything lined up?" he asked. "Yes." "That's when things move," he said, "once it's on a schedule." No commentary followed. No need. The rest of the evening passed without interruption. No family messages, no updates from Robert, no apologies or clarifications. The bank sent one last notification before midnight. "Please ensure access is available during the evaluation window." No emotion, no leverage, just process. The confirmation came through as a standard form attached to an email with no greeting. I signed where indicated, checked the boxes that applied, and left the rest untouched. The language was dry on purpose. No shared ownership, no guarantor status, no financial responsibility tied to the loan. A follow-up message arrived minutes later. "Your records have been updated." That was it. The banking app refreshed. The mortgage account no longer appeared under linked obligations. No alerts, no reminders. The list shortened without ceremony. Work filled the gap that followed. A routing error needed correction. A shipment arrived early and threw off staffing. A call came in from a supervisor asking for availability next week. Answers went out. The day moved forward. Robert called near the end of the afternoon. "They won't talk to you anymore," he said. "They shouldn't. They said everything has to go through me." "That's correct. You set this up. I stepped out. You knew this would happen. They told you before." A pause followed. Not angry this time, calculating. "You could still talk to them," he said. "Explain things." "They didn't ask me to. They used to. They don't now." His voice dropped. "I thought you wouldn't let it get this far. I thought you'd make a plan." Another pause. Longer. "I used the money to buy time," he said. "Just enough to keep things normal." "Normal for who?" "For everyone," he replied. "I didn't want to sell, didn't want to change how things looked. And paying me back, that was later. Later never came. I didn't think you'd pull out. I didn't think I was funding avoidance. That's not fair." "That's accurate." No apology followed, no denial either. "So you're really done," he said. "I'm not involved." "That's the same thing." "It isn't." A notification chimed while the call stayed open. Subject: Account Responsibility Update. The email was brief. Primary responsible party, Robert Carter. No emphasis, no formatting, just placement. The call went silent on his end. Family reactions shifted after that. Messages slowed. A few stopped entirely. Conversations that had once carried urgency now stalled before reaching me. Mom called once. "They said you aren't part of it anymore," she said. "That's right. So there's nothing you can do." "That's been true." A sigh traveled through the line. He didn't think it would come to this. He declined options. He didn't want strangers looking at his finances. They already are. No argument came back. A cousin texted later that night. "Guess this is between him and the bank now." No reply followed. The next email arrived from the mortgage office the following morning. Final notice issued. A date. A sequence of steps. Language stripped of alternatives. Another message followed right after, almost polite. "Please contact us if you have questions regarding your obligations." No one else was copied. Robert called again that afternoon. "They sent the last warning," he said. "This is serious." "It's been serious. They're talking about legal steps. They outlined those." "You don't care." "I stopped carrying it. That house isn't my loan." "You could still help." "Help with what?" "With the payment. That wouldn't change the file." "You don't know that." "I do." He exhaled sharply. "You always were stubborn." "I'm consistent." "That's worse." "It's clear." The call ended without escalation. No shouting, no threats, just fatigue. At work, Marcus leaned against the desk during a lull. "Looks like the file closed on your end," he said. "Yes. Then it's not yours anymore." "That's how it reads." "Systems like clean exits," he added. "No loose ends." Another update came through later that evening. Legal review pending. No options attached. Dinner got made, a load of laundry finished, the phone stayed nearby without lighting up. Robert didn't call again that night. The update came through without ceremony. Robert had two options left: sell the house or let the process move forward. No extensions mentioned, no alternatives offered. The message didn't ask how anyone felt about it. Family calls didn't follow. No one volunteered to step in. The group chat stayed inactive, like a room after everyone left at different times. Robert called late the next afternoon. His voice sounded smaller than it had before. Not apologetic, just worn. "Is there any way you could help this one last time?" he asked. "Just to stop it?" "What would that change?" I said. "Time." "For what?" He didn't answer right away. "I thought you wouldn't leave me hanging," he said. "I didn't leave," I replied. I stepped back. "So that's it. That's it." No argument followed. No blame landed this time. The call ended without a goodbye. The bank sent its own note the same evening. "Your association with this account has been removed. We've updated our records successfully." No signature, no thanks, just confirmation. Work settled into routine again. Schedules lined up. Late shipments got absorbed without drama. The board stayed green more often than not. Marcus stopped by during a slow stretch. "Looks lighter," he said, nodding toward the screen. "It is. Cleaner, too. Feels that way. Systems behave better when there's one owner," he added, then moved on. A new savings account opened that night. The name stayed generic. No references, no attachments. Automatic transfers got set with amounts that didn't hurt. A confirmation email arrived seconds later. "Your account is ready." Dinner came together fast. Dishes stacked, laundry ran. Nothing interrupted the flow. The phone stayed face up on the counter. No calls came in. The next day passed the same way. No messages from family, no updates from Robert. The bank didn't reach out again. Friday arrived without build-up. After work, a sign-up page loaded for a weekend class. The time worked, the fee went through. A receipt landed in the inbox. Enrollment confirmed. The app closed. A glance at the phone showed no new notifications, no missed calls, no unread texts. It went back into the bag. The evening carried on. Plans formed and held. The next week filled itself in. Nothing needed explaining anymore.